evening and welcome to the championship round of the National World War II Museum's 2016 High School Quiz Bowl presented by the New Orleans Advocate. My name is Kenneth Hoffman. I'm the Director of Education at the museum and your quiz master for tonight. We are coming to you live tonight to bring you this exciting contest between Quiz Bowl finalists Central High School from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, my hometown, and Jesuit High School from New Orleans, Louisiana, my adopted town. Central has won this competition for the past 3 years in a row, so they're going for a four-peat. And this is Jesuit's first year in the finals, and they are looking to make their mark. This is the 12th year for the High School Quiz Bowl, which means we are now officially older than MASH, because MASH only ran for 11 seasons. Now, on February 20th, teams from 20 high schools across Louisiana met at the National World War II Museum to compete in the preliminary round of the World War II Quiz Bowl. From that competition, these two teams emerged to compete here tonight for the championship. Let's take a look at how they advanced here tonight. Good afternoon and welcome to the National World War II Museum's World War II Quiz Bowl here in the beautiful U.S. Freedom Pavilion, the Boeing Center. My name is Kenneth Hoffman. I'm the Director of Education at the museum and your quiz master for this event. What profession did Dietrich Bonhoeffer and Martin Niemöller have in common? Why didn't Jackie Robinson deploy to Europe with the 761st Tank Battalion? What became the first consumer commodity rationed as a result of the war? Which one of the following was not a popular dance style during World War II? In which city was this photograph taken? What was the goal of the July 20 plot? Who was Meet Geese? For the fourth year in a row, Central High School in Baton Rouge, the F4F Wildcats will be going to the finals. Come on up, boys. But joining them there with the same score, the Enola Jays from Jesuit High School in New Orleans. Thanks again so much. Bye-bye from the National World War II Museum. Oh, I was so much younger back then, last month. Well, you've had a chance to meet the contestants on the video. Let's meet them in person. On my left, I have the gentleman from Jesuit High School under the leadership of Dr. Cyril Levonic. Students, please buzz in. Tell me your name, your grade, and your favorite World War II subject.
My name is Andrew Cerise. I'm a senior at Jesuit High School, and my favorite thing to study in World War II is the music.
My name is Daniel Puente. I am a senior at Jesuit, and my favorite thing to study is weapons and technology.
My name is Connor Martinez. I'm a 12th grader, senior, and my favorite thing to study is battle tactics.
All right, thank you very much. And on my right, I have the gentleman from Central High School under the leadership of Mr. Randy Mitchell. This, as I said before, is their fourth year, so they're going for a four-peat. I had to make the questions really hard this year to stump these guys. So students, please buzz in, tell me your name, your grade, and your favorite World War II subject.
My name is Brantley Pike. I am a senior at Central High School, and my favorite topics are technology and weapons.
My name is Lucas Lecoq. I'm a senior at Central High School, and my favorite World War II subject is military operations.
My name's Noah Gandy, and I'm a senior at Central High School, and my favorite subject is German military.
All right, well, thank you very much. Now, the format of this championship is a little different from our preliminary round. Tonight, we're going to have all kinds of questions about the home front, about the battlefront, about personalities, about equipment, about code names, even World War II music, Andrew. So who knows? You might get some of those questions. Let's begin round one, and I'm going to read this because it's a very official language. In this first round, there will be 15 toss-up questions. I will read a question, and the first person to buzz in and answer the question correctly will earn his team 10 points. There is no conferring during this round. Also, if you buzz in before the question is completed and answer incorrectly, your team will lose 5 points. If a player gives an incorrect answer or no answer after buzzing in, I'll ask if a player from the opposing team wants to buzz in and try to give an answer. You can't lose points at that point, so you might as well give it a try. All right, again, there's no conferring during this round, so once you buzz in, you got to give me an answer. Is everybody ready? Hands on buzzers, gentlemen. Round 1, question 1. Which 2 countries fought from June 22nd, 1941 to May 9, 1945 in the Great Patriotic War?
Jesuit, Cerise.
Finland and the Soviet Union.
That is incorrect. Would someone from Central like to buzz in?
Central, Pike.
Germany and the Soviet Union.
That is correct for 10 points. Hands on buzzers. Question 2. Which 2 countries were at war with each other longer than any other countries during World War II?
Central, Lecoq.
Japan and China.
That is correct for 10 points. Question 3. What were the years of that conflict?
Jesuit, Cerise.
31 to 45.
That is incorrect. Anyone from Central?
Central, Lecoq.
1937 to 1945.
That is correct for 10 points. 31 was the invasion of Manchuria, but that is not considered China proper. All right, question number 4. Many geographical place names have changed since World War II. What was Ethiopia called during World War II?
Central, Pike.
Eritrea.
That is incorrect. Would anyone from Jesuit like to buzz in?
Somaliland?
That is also incorrect. The answer is Abyssinia. Question 5. Here's another one about place names. What is Stalingrad called today?
Central, Lecoq.
Volgograd.
Volgograd. That is correct for 10 points. Question 6. In which country today would you find Port Moresby, a city the Japanese hope to take to cut off Australia from Southeast Asia?
Jesuit, Cerise.
New Guinea.
That is correct for 10 points. Question 7. Argonaut, Arcadia, Sextant, and Eureka were all code names for what? Argonaut, Arcadia, Sextant, and Eureka. Nobody? World War II conferences. Question 8. And here's a question about the last major wartime conference. Who represented Great Britain at the July 1945 Pots?
Central, Pike.
Clement Attlee.
That is correct for 10 points. Question 9. Who am I? I was born into a large sharecropper family in Texas. I first saw action in the invasion of Italy and at the Battle of Anzio. Later, in the Colmar Pocket, I was wounded in both legs, but still managed to kill or wound 50 German soldiers while protecting my platoon. For these actions, I was awarded the Medal of Honor. By the end of the war, I was one of the most decorated.
Jesuit, Cerise.
Audie Murphy.
That is correct for 10 points. Question 10. Another who am I? I played for the University of Michigan football team. At Yale Law School, I was active in the effort to keep America out of the war. But after Pearl Harbor, I joined the Navy and served aboard the aircraft carrier USS Montgomery. After the war, I went into politics, rising from congressman to vice president. I was never elected president, but I became president.
Jesuit, Martinez.
General Ford.
Could you repeat that last name?
Ford.
Yes, that is correct for 10 points. Question 11. In military slang, what's a bogey?
Central, Pike.
An enemy aircraft.
That is correct for 10 points. Question 12. In 1920, this political party had fewer than 60 members. By
Jesuit, Puente.
National Socialist Party?
that is correct. I'm going to give you that for 10 points. The Nazi Party, yes, the National Socialist German Workers' Party, which was neither socialist nor a workers' party. Question 13. For which island did the United States fight for 6 months from August 7th, 1942 to February 9th, 1943? It's in the Southwest Pacific.
Jesuit, Cerise.
Tarawa.
That is incorrect. Anybody from Central?
Central, Lecoq.
Guadalcanal.
That is correct for 10 points. Question 14. The OSS, forerunner of today's CIA, was established during World War II to organize espionage activities overseas. What does OSS stand?
Jesuit, Cerise.
Office of Strategic Services.
That is correct for 10 points. And our last question in round 1. Who can name any 2 of the 3 aircraft carriers that the Japanese thought would be at Pearl Harbor but weren't?
Central, Pike.
Wasp, Yorktown, and Lexington.
That is incorrect. Would somebody from Jesuit care to answer?
Jesuit, Cerise.
The Hornet and the Lexington.
That is also incorrect. We are looking for 2 of these 3, Enterprise, Lexington, and Saratoga. All right, y'all did great with that. That's the end of our first round. But before we check the scores, let's take a closer look at the team from Jesuit High School.
The reason I like World War II is because my grandfather was a boy on a Dutch milk farm in the Netherlands when the Nazis occupied the Netherlands in World War II, and his interest in the conflict rubbed off on me.
I already spend most of my time looking up stuff about World War II, and why not do this? Because it's something I enjoy and make use of my knowledge.
I've always liked military history and stuff like that. So when I heard about it, I just went to go do it because why not, you know? It sounded fun, you know, got to test out my World War II knowledge because, you know, it is something I enjoy.
It's one of the most important parts in all of history, and what happened then really affects what happens today.
I'm not surprised they've done so well. This is the best team I've ever had to deal with in terms of their discipline, their focus, their commitment, practicing on a regular basis at the lunch hour, covering all sorts of fields and endeavors and angles to the contest. They did a very, very good job, very thorough. Very proud of them.
My favorite subject in World War II is the study of big bands, specifically Glenn Miller, Benny Goodman, as well as the Andrews Sisters. I really liked the 1940s era of music, swing style. It's very nice to listen to.
My favorite part is the weapons and technology, the development of the technology, who used what was it good for, stuff like that.
They're really the big hitters over there, but I'm kind of got to just make sure they know everything, and then I know a few random outside things. And like, I mean, like if they forget something, I know it. So I'm kind of the yes man in the group.
You can find quizzes online for this. You look up information. So, especially with the resources that the World War II Museum has, which includes video footage of past competitions, you can use that to test your knowledge. And you can look up the stuff you don't know, study the history surrounding it. So there are a lot of resources you can use to prepare for these.
The boys are very good at what they do, and the school itself has done a great job to make them as academically proficient as possible, and I think they'll do well. I'm pretty sure they'll win.
I expect that we will do well.
I expect us to win, actually, yeah. I feel confident.
Well, I am being informed that the scores are in. Actually, the earpiece is over here. And after the first round, Central is in the lead with 70 points, but Jesuit is not far behind. They have 50 points. So let's move on to round 2. Round 2 is what we call our bonus round. I have 8 questions that will act just like the toss-up questions in round 1, except that when a team answers correctly, they will have a chance at 4 bonus questions, all around a similar theme, and they will get 5 points for each of those correct. So they have a chance to get 20 bonus points if they get the first question right. Again, there is a 5-point penalty for answering incorrectly if you buzz in before I finish reading the question. And you cannot confer on the toss-up questions, but you can confer on the bonus questions. Very tricky. I think y'all can handle it. You guys ready? All right, here we go. Round 2. On September 25, 1940, more than a year before the United States would enter World War II, Congress passed the Selective Training and Service Act of 1940. Aimed at increasing the size of the military, what more common term did this act enable? It starts with a D and is a term used.
Jesuit, Cerise.
Drafting.
That is correct. That is correct for 10 points. And now you get 4 bonus questions. You guys can relax for a minute. 4 bonus questions about America's slow march from isolation to action in the years before Pearl Harbor. And Andrew, I'll ask you to be the one person who gives me the answer, okay? Question 1. What was the name of the series of congressional laws from 1935 through 1939 that limited U.S. trade and travel with foreign countries at war?
The Neutrality Acts.
That is correct for 5 points. What pro-Nazi group did Fritz Kuhn run from 1936 until he was imprisoned for tax evasion and embezzlement in 1939?
The American Nazi Party.
That is incorrect. The answer I was looking for was the German-American Bund. But that's okay. Question 3. What June 22nd, 1940 major military event marked a shift in America's willingness to support Great Britain against Germany? June 22nd, 1940.
France falls to the Nazis.
That is correct for 5 points. And the last question, on September 2nd, 1940, Great Britain agreed to grant the U.S. land rights to naval bases in the Caribbean, Newfoundland, and Bermuda in exchange for what?
Destroyers.
How many?
30.
The answer is 50. So I'm not going to give you that. 50 World War II mothball destroyers. But you got 2 of those bonus questions, so extra points for y'all. Question 2, hands on buzzers. Getting supplies to our Chinese allies from India either meant going overland through the jungles of Burma or flying the hump. Over what mountain range?
Central, Pike.
The Himalaya Mountains.
That is correct for 10 points. And now you guys can relax while Central gets 4 questions about the CBI. CBI, of course, standing for? China, Burma, India, but you don't get points for that. No. Okay.
Get our hopes up.
Right. Question 1. The American commando force in Burma, led by General Frank Merrill, went by what nickname?
Do I need to buzz in?
Yeah, buzz in. Go ahead and say it.
Merrill's Marauders.
That is correct for 5 points. Winston Churchill called the fall of what British colony at the tip of the Malay Peninsula to the Japanese the worst disaster and largest capitulation in British history? Answer? Yes?
Malaysia?
Sorry, the answer is Singapore. Okay. What is the capital of Burma?
Ooh, I know this one. Myanmar.
That is incorrect. I would have taken Rangoon or Yangon, either one. But you have a chance, one more chance for 5 points. Okay. Which British victory in India is sometimes called the Stalingrad of the East?
Impal?
The answer is the Battle of Kohima. Kohima. The Battle of Impal was part of that, but I needed Kohima. But that's okay. You got a little bit of extra points. Hands on buzzers. Question 3. In their attempt to develop the atomic bomb, German scientists used deuterium oxide, or heavy water, to control the atomic chain reaction. American physicists went another way and used what substance to ensure that chain reactions didn't get out of control?
Central, Gandhi.
Graphite?
That is correct and very brave. I was going to give you all kinds of answers, like it's found inside a pencil and all sorts of things like that. So that's good for 10 points. And now 4 bonus questions about the atomic bomb. Question 1. Robert Oppenheimer headed up the civilian portion of the Manhattan Project. Who oversaw the project for the U.S. Army?
Leslie Groves.
That is correct for 5 points. Near what city and in what state was the first atomic bomb test conducted?
Alamogordo, New Mexico.
That is correct for 5 points. Question 3. Uranium was refined in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Where was plutonium produced?
Hanford, Washington.
That is correct for 5 points. Let's see if you can run the table. Look at your screen. Most World War II era nuclear scientists were men. Who was this woman who helped discover nuclear fission in 1939? Gentlemen?
Jane Doe.
No, her name was Lisa Meitner. Lisa Meitner. Okay. All right, hands on buzzers, everyone. You did quite well on that. Question 4. The years 962 to 1806 was the first. 1871 to 1918 was the second. The third spanned the length of Hitler's rule from 1933 to 19...
Jesuit, Cerise.
A Reich.
That is correct. And so that's 10 points. And these are 4 questions about the Nazi regime or the Third Reich. And you guys can relax. Question 1. Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany in January 1933 after receiving a plurality of the votes in a national election. Who appointed him Chancellor?
Paul von Hindenburg.
That is correct for 5 points. The burning of what Berlin building in February 1933 led to the suspension of civil rights in Germany and the consolidation of Hitler's power?
The Reichstag building.
That is correct. Question 3. Originally passed in 1935, what set of legal restrictions systematically denied German Jews of their citizenship, their property, their jobs, and their freedom of movement?
The Nuremberg race laws.
That is also correct. And let's see if you can run the table. The last question. The Nazis' decision to exterminate all European Jews, known as the final solution, was shared with various Nazi administrators at what conference in January 1942?
The Wannsee Conference.
That is correct for 5 points. Very good. All right, question 5, hands on buzzers. You guys are doing great. My earpiece is coming out. All right, here we go. Franklin Roosevelt was a great communicator. His favorite medium was the radio, which he used often to speak directly to the American people during both the Depression and World War II.
Jesuit, Cerise.
Fireside chats.
That is correct for 10 points. All right, now it's your turn. See if you can maybe break into the lead here. These are 4 questions about radio during World War II. What was the wartime radio name of propagandist Iva Taguri?
Tokyo Rose.
That is correct. Oh. You gave me the, I'm shaking my head, but you got it right.
Think of the other one.
So that's 5 points. Question 2. Resistance groups throughout Europe received information about the war through BBC radio reports. What does BBC stand for?
British Broadcasting Company.
That is not correct. It's British Broadcasting Corporation. Sorry, don't get the points for that. Okay. Take a look at your screen. Who is this well-known radio star of the 1930s and 40s?
Orson Welles.
That is correct for 5 points. And lastly, give me the names of the second and third baseman in the classic Abbott and Costello baseball routine. Who's on first? I need the second and third baseman.
What is on second and tomorrow's on third?
Ooh. What is on second and I don't know is on third. So you don't get the points for that, but you did a good job. All right, guys, question 6, hands on buzzers. What am I? I have 4 engines and a crew of 10. I was often equipped with a Norden bomb sight.
Jesuit, Cerise.
B-17.
That is correct. All right. These are 4 questions about pilots during World War II. What group did Yevdokia Bershenskaya command?
The 6th Litvak Division.
That is a wonderful guess, but that's not correct. What if I told you that Yevdokia Bershenskaya was a woman? Would that help? That's all right. Yeah, you're right. It's the Night Witches, but you don't get the points for that.
I'm sorry, Daniel.
What accomplishment did Richard Bong achieve in his P-38 Lightning during World War II?
The most number of air kills for the United States.
That's right. He became the highest scoring ace for 5 points. Very good. Believe it or not, the first man to ever fly a powered airplane was still alive when World War II ended. Who was he?
Lindbergh.
That is not correct. I was looking. Who was the first person to fly? They were brothers. You had a 50-50 chance.
I was looking at you.
Which one do you think it is? Just for fun.
Orville.
It is Orville. That's
I
right.
was looking at you
Orville.
for
He was
that.
an old man. Can you believe that?
First flight.
So you don't get the points for that one. Last question. Listen up, boys. What did Charles McGee, Benjamin O. Davis Jr., and Daniel Chappie James Jr. have in common?
They're all tail gunners.
No, that's not correct. They were all Tuskegee Airmen.
That probably makes sense.
Hands on buzzers. Question 7. Spring is a time of rebirth. It is also the season for the deaths of Franklin Roosevelt, Benito Mussolini, and Adolf Hitler. They all died in the same month. Which month?
Central, Pike.
April.
That is correct, and April of 1945, to be precise. So these are questions about 1945. Question 1. Where did Adolf Hitler take up residence from January 16th until his suicide on April 30th, 1945?
The Fuhrer bunker under the Reichstag.
That is correct for 5 points. Question 2. Which World War II campaign started on February 19 and ended on March 26, 1945?
The Balfour Iwo Jima.
That is correct for 5 points. Take a look at your screen. What organization first met in San Francisco April 25th, 1945?
The United Nations.
That is correct. And the last question, as the commander in the Southwest Pacific and supreme commander for the Allied powers, who first signed the Japanese Instrument of Surrender on September 2nd, 1945?
Douglas MacArthur.
That is correct. Very good job. All right, last question in this round. Hands on buzzers. What 1942 movie ends with the line, Louis, I...
Jesuit, Cerise.
Casablanca.
That is correct. I was going to do the whole thing with the voices and everything. All right, that's all right. I wasn't going to do the voices. Okay, here are 4 questions about World War II era movies. Number 1, which filmmaker produced and directed the German propaganda film Triumph of the Will?
Would that be Leni Riefenstahl?
It would be, for 5 points. Question 2, what Charlie Chaplin film was inspired by Triumph of the Will?
The Great Dictator.
That is also correct for 5 points. Take a look at your screen, gentlemen. What comedy trio released You Nasty Spy, a spoof on Adolf Hitler and the Nazis in 1940?
The Three Stooges.
That is correct. And the last question, which Merry Melodies character starred in the 1942 animated short Any Bonds Today?
Bugs Bunny.
That is correct. I would have also accepted Elmer Fudd and Porky Pig because they were in it as well. All right, boys. We are done with round 2. We're going to give everybody a chance to catch their breath, and we're halfway through our exciting competition. When we come back, we will see who's in the lead, and we will continue with our lightning round. So don't go away.
I start each morning with the New Orleans Advocate right here on my doorstep. And I have to tell you, I really love the Advocate. It's invested in our community, printed right here in Louisiana, written by and for New Orleanians, with local news, sports, and features. So do what other New Orleanians are doing.
Subscribe now. Just call or click and look for our special offer soon in the mail.
Make the switch to the Advocate today.
Delivered to your home 7 days a week.
It should have been impossible. Crossing the world's widest ocean to answer an attack made by a powerful adversary. From island to island to island, we fought through hostile terrain, malnutrition, disease, and at every step, an enemy that just kept coming. It should have been impossible. Find out how millions of Americans pushed past impossible on the road to Tokyo, new at the National World War II Museum.
Relay for Life. Because there's so much to live for. Help the American Cancer Society finish the fight. Walk, join, donate now.
Celebrate an American icon. My Way, a musical tribute to Frank Sinatra, features more than 30 of Sinatra's most famous songs. Enjoy dining from the American Sector Restaurant and Bar as we bring to life Sinatra's repertoire of classic hits. It's a thrilling show celebrating Sinatra's timeless talent and signature style, March 11th through May 1st, only at BB's Stage Door Canteen at the National World War II Museum. Tickets at stagedoorcanteen.org or call 504-528-1943 today.
All right, well, welcome back to the championship round of the 2016 National World War II Museum High School Quiz Bowl, presented by the New Orleans Advocate. We are live in the Cox Studios here in fabulous downtown Harahan, Louisiana, with our finalist teams, Central High School from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Jesuit High School from New Orleans, Louisiana. And after 2 rounds, halfway through, currently Jesuit is now in the lead with 165 points, and Central is not too far behind with 140 points. And we're going to do our lightning round, our round 3. And so there are 4 categories for them to choose from. Teams will have 90 seconds to answer 10 questions in their category. Each question is worth 10 points, and if they get all 10 correct, they will get a bonus of 20 points. So there is a possibility to get 120 points total in this round. The questions are all visual and will appear on the screen, and the categories tonight are Who Am I? What Am I? World War II nicknames, and World War II song titles. Now, since Central is in second place at this point, they're going to be able to select first. What category do you select?
We're going to take Who Am I?
All right, they're going to take Who Am I? So folks in the production booth, load up the Who Am I graphics, and we'll put 90 seconds on the clock. I will just, you'll give me an answer and I'll say that is correct or that is incorrect, and then we'll move on. If you wish to say pass, if you don't know, say pass, but you're not going to get a chance to see it again. Are you ready? And go.
Jesse Owens.
That is correct.
Hedy Lamar.
That is incorrect. It's Rita Hayworth.
Haile Selassie.
That is correct.
Jonathan Wainwright.
That is correct.
William Joe.
That is correct.
Dick Winters.
That is incorrect. It's Jimmy Stewart.
Joseph Goebbels.
That is correct.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
That is correct.
Klaus Fuchs.
That is incorrect. It's Adolf Eichmann. And lastly,
Ada Frank.
that is incorrect. It is Margot Frank. It is the older sister of Anne. But very good. You did a very good job on that. Didn't get the bonus points for getting them all, but you got plenty of them. Now, Jesuit. We have World War II nicknames, What Am I, and World War II songs. What do you pick?
We will take song titles.
Song titles, World War II song titles. I'm going to show you sheet music from the time period with part of the title blocked out, and you have to give me the part that's blocked out. Okay, are we ready? Let's load up that, and 90 seconds on the clock, and begin. GI.
Jive.
Correct. There'll always be an
Pass.
England. Next. As time
Goes by.
That is correct. Rum and
Coca-Cola.
That is correct. Blank blank trousers.
Zoot suit trousers.
Bell bottom. Der blank face.
Der Führer's face.
That is correct. Blank blank today.
Any news today?
Any bonds today?
No.
The last time I
Saw Paris.
That is correct. Straighten up and
Fly right.
That is correct. They can't blank blank the moon.
Overshoot the moon.
Black out the moon. And, or was that it? No, that's it. That's it. All right, good job, guys. You didn't get the bonus for getting them all, but you got plenty. All right, now what are we left with? We've got What Am I and World War II nicknames. What do you guys want?
We'll take World War II nicknames.
World War II nicknames. All right, I'm going to show you a picture of somebody. I'm going to put up the nickname, and you have to tell me the person's real name. I really only need the last name. Okay? You guys ready? Let's load that up. And 90 seconds on the clock. And go. Chesty.
Puller.
Correct. The Desert Fox.
Rommel.
Correct. Dugout Doug.
MacArthur.
Correct. Hobo.
Mountbatten.
That's incorrect. It's Percy Hobart. Howlin' Mad.
Howland.
Howlin' Mad.
Howland.
No, it's Holland Smith. Next. Pappy.
Boyington.
That is correct. The Old Man.
Patton.
That is correct. Vinegar Joe.
Stillwell.
That is correct. Wild Bill.
Murray.
William Donovan. And lastly, the Black Knight.
Von Rundstedt.
Yes, that is correct. All right. Whew. Awesome. Very good. Wonderful job. Again, nobody got all of those right, but you guys did really well. Now, we have one last bunch of questions for Jesuit, and what you're stuck with is, what am I? So there's going to be 10 objects, small or large. You have to tell me what they are, okay? So let's load it up and put 90 seconds on the clock and begin.
Army uniform.
More specific?
Dress formals.
Incorrect. It's an Eisenhower jacket. Next.
Incendiary pot.
Incorrect. It's a Japanese ceramic grenade. Next.
The 82nd Airborne Patch.
That is correct. Next.
A reactor.
That is the Trinity gadget, the first atomic bomb. Next.
Depth charge.
That is correct. Next.
P-38 Lightning.
That is correct. Next.
Oklahoma.
That is correct. Next.
Japanese internment card.
Incorrect. A blood chit. Next.
Hobart's funny.
That is correct. And lastly. Guys, I need an answer. Time is up.
Whistle.
That is incorrect. That is a rivet gun. Well, I am very impressed that you got the USS Oklahoma. That was a tricky one. I didn't think you would, but you did. You guys did great. All right, so we are finished with that round. Before we take a look at the scores, let's take a look at the team from Central in Baton Rouge.
My main interest in history started with the fact that my family is very history-oriented. Both of my great-grandfathers served in World War II. One was in the Air Force and the other in the Army, so I figured I kind of had history in my blood, I guess.
What makes me passionate about history is just, the outcomes of certain events throughout history that have shaped the modern world as we know it. Especially World War II for me. I've been interested in World War II for a long time, but now I'm understanding more of what happened and the reasons why it happened and how it shaped the modern world.
I've always been interested in history, and I would usually think, if you want to make good future decisions, then you should always look at the decisions of the past.
I'm confident. I've got another good group of boys who are working hard to get ready for this competition. Brantley is our pro. He's been here for 3 years now. The other two are seniors, and they're new to the competition, but they're not new to the subject.
Going into a competition like this, you really have to know your stuff. You really have to be informed about the subject. But in the end, you have to keep your emotions intact. The objective's in front of you. You just got to go in there, head on, focus, and try to get the job done.
Both of my teammates are very, very well knowledgeable on the subjects in World War II. They're both very motivated, and there's not two better people I can think of to have a team with.
Brantley Pike, he's the center of the team, and we really depend on him a lot. And Lucas Lecoq, I believe, is a great addition to the team in that he's also provides a lot of help.
No matter how many times you go there, you're going to be nervous. I was nervous the first time I took him, and I'll be nervous on Thursday. But I keep telling them over and over, it's about having a good time.
Oh, I'm nervous. I'm really nervous. I've never been on TV before, so this is all new for me. But I hope to help my team win the championship for the fourth time.
When we're out there in front of the cameras, in front of Mr. Hoffman, in front of the other team, when you get started, it's a little nerve-wracking at first because you're like, oh my God, everyone's staring at me. And then as it goes on, you get motivated, you get a little hyped up, you get a little sweat on your eyebrow.
By the time we get to Thursday, I guess it's kind of like a head football coach going to the national championship. You've done all the prep you can do. Now we're just going to go play the game. They have their eyes on the prize and that they want to win.
All right, well, the scores are in, and you guys, this is so close, it's scary. Central with 270 points, Jesuit with 275 points. So this is anyone's game. We're on round 4, just like round 1, toss-up questions. You buzz in, you give me an answer, no conferring. If you answer before I finish reading and you give a wrong answer, 5 points off. I'm going to read questions until that little voice in my ear tells me it's time to stop, or maybe someone in the production booth, either way. Okay, here we go, hands on buzzers. What was the nickname for the 761st Tank Battalion?
Central Pike.
Black Panthers.
That is correct for 10 points. Although outlawed by international conventions, which two Axis powers used chemical warfare on the battlefield?
Central Pike.
Japan and Germany.
That is incorrect. Would anyone from Jesuit like to answer?
Jesuit Martinez.
Japan and Italy.
That is correct for 10 points. Question 3. Who was Fibber McGee's wife?
Jesuit Cerise.
Mrs. McGee's.
I was looking for I was looking for Molly. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Oh, okay.
And I'll also say hello to Dory, my other daughter. All right, round 4, question 4. Which of the Nuremberg war criminals escaped the hangman's noose by committing suicide the night?
Jesuit Cerise.
Himmler.
That is incorrect, and because you answered before I finished, that's 5 points off. And I will now read the question through, and we'll see if someone wants to buzz in. Which of the Nuremberg war criminals escaped the hangman's noose by committing suicide the night before his scheduled execution?
Central Lecoq.
Erman Goring.
That is correct for 10 points. Question 5, another Nuremberg question. Which of the following Nazis was not at the trials but was convicted in absentia? Albert Speer, Alfred Jodl, Martin Bormann, or Karl Dönitz?
Central Pike.
Dönitz.
That is incorrect. Anybody from Jesuit?
Cerise.
Borman.
That is correct for 10 points. All right, question 6. In what year did Emperor Hirohito die? 1949, 1959, 1969, 1979, or 1989?
Central Lecoq.
1989.
That is correct for 10 points. What were Betty's, Kate's, and Val's?
Central Pike.
Japanese attack bombers.
That is correct. Question 8. Which Mediterranean island was awarded the George Cross?
Jesuit. Cerise.
Malta.
That is correct for 10 points. If you were in the Canadian 3rd Division, where were you on June 6, 1940?
Central Pike.
Juno Beach.
That is correct for 10 points. Woo! It's getting hot in here. Question 10. What country did President Manuel Quezon represent in exile during most of World War II?
Central Pike.
Poland.
That is incorrect. Anybody from Jesuit? Manuel Quezon.
Cerise.
Portugal.
That is also incorrect. The answer is the Philippines. Question 11. Who was Pope during World War II?
Central Lecoq.
Pope Pius XII.
Yeah, I can't believe Jesuit. You guys didn't get that. All right. That's all right. That's all right. I know you knew it. All right. Question 12. The Women's Auxiliary Army Corps was founded in May of 1942. What did they change their name to in July of 1943?
Jesuit. Cerise.
The Women's Air Service Pilots.
That is incorrect. Central? No? It's the Women's Army Corps. Question 13. Who can tell me the nickname of the 29th Division, Infantry Division? The nickname. No.
Central Pike.
Yin Yang.
Well, you knew the symbol, the blue and the gray.
Ah.
Question 14. What about the nickname for the 1st Division?
Central Pike.
Big Red 1.
That is correct for 10 points. Where would you find Schofield Barracks and Hickam Airfield?
Central Pike.
Saipan.
That is incorrect. Anybody from Jesuit?
Cerise.
Pearl Harbor.
That is correct for 10 points. Question 16. Who can list the 5 countries of North Africa from west to east?
Jesuit. Cerise.
Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, Egypt.
That is correct for 10 points. Who were William Shirer, Richard Hotlett, Eric Severide, and Edward R. Murrow?
Central Pike.
The Four Chaplains.
That is incorrect. Jesuit?
Cerise.
War correspondents.
That is correct. Radio newsman from CBS. Question 18. Finish this heartfelt song lyric. Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. I'll be home for Christmas, if only...
Central Pike.
In your dreams.
That is incorrect. Jesuit?
Cerise.
In my dreams.
That is correct for 10 points. Question 19. Who preceded Winston Churchill as prime...
Jesuit. Cerise.
Neville Chamberlain.
That is correct for 10 points. Question 20. Where was Brigadier General Anthony McAuliffe when he replied...
Jesuit. Cerise.
Bastogne.
That is correct. I didn't even get a chance to say nuts on TV.
We like nuts.
All right, question 21. What did all the inmates of the Ravensbrück concentration camp in Germany...
Central Pike.
They were women.
That is correct for 10 points. Question 22. What iconic event did photographer Joe Rosenthal capture?
Jesuit. Cerise.
The raising of the flag on Mount Suribachi.
That is correct for 10 points. Question 23. What symbol does this describe? A cylindrical bundle of elm or birch?
Jesuit. Cerise.
A fasci or fascism.
Yes, that is correct for 10 points.
So quick on that.
Question 24. Describe the national flag of Japan during World War II.
Jesuit, cerise.
A sun rising with beams coming out of it, red beams.
That is incorrect. Would anyone from Central care?
Pike.
A white flag with a red circle in the middle symbolizing the sun.
That is correct. The flag of Japan today is the flag you are talking about, the rising sun, which was the naval ensign. Okay, we got two. I'm being told but that, by that little voice that there's 2 more questions to go, so let me see what I will ask. Oh, here we go. Throughout most of the Depression and all of World War II, who served as the Secretary of Labor? She was the first woman cabinet member ever. So this is what happens when you don't have any.
Jesuit, cerise.
Mary McLeod Bethune.
That's not correct. Anybody from Central? Nope. Frances Perkins. Look her up. Fabulous, great person. And the last question. Oh, I can do one more after this, he says. All right, so now I'm going to go back. And we're going to say, we're going to do this one. We're going to do, radar uses beams of microwaves traveling at the speed of light to bounce off of distant objects. But microwaves get absorbed in water. What type of waves are used by sonar?
Central, pike.
Sound waves.
That is correct for 10 points. And this is now our last question. Sinclair Lewis's 1935 book, It Can't Happen Here, tells the story of a populist politician who rises to the U.S. presidency promising simple solutions and using bullying tactics. Once in office, he opposes totalitarian rule through intimidation and violence. What real Louisiana politician was Sinclair Lewis satirizing?
Central, pike.
Huey K. Long. Huey P.
I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you for 10 points, and that is good. That is good. So we are done. Everyone take a breath, and we're going to. The questions have been asked and answered. We are going to tally up the score. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will crown our new World War II Quiz Bowl champion. Stay tuned.
Celebrate an American icon. My Way, a musical tribute to Frank Sinatra, features more than 30 of Sinatra's most famous songs. Enjoy dining from the American Sector Restaurant and Bar as we bring to life Sinatra's repertoire of classic hits. It's a thrilling show celebrating Sinatra's timeless talent and signature style, March 11th through May 1st, only at BB's Stage Door Canteen at the National World War II Museum. Tickets at stagedoorcanteen.org or call 504-528-1943 today.
I start each morning with the New Orleans Advocate right here on my doorstep. And I have to tell you, I really love the Advocate. It's invested in our community, printed right here in Louisiana, written by and for New Orleanians, with local news, sports, and features. So do what other New Orleanians are doing.
Subscribe now. Just call or click and look for our special offer soon in the mail.
Make the switch to the Advocate today.
Delivered to your home 7 days a week.
It should have been impossible, crossing the world's widest ocean to answer an attack made by a powerful adversary. From island to island to island, we fought through hostile terrain, malnutrition, disease, and at every step, an enemy that just kept coming. It should have been impossible. Find out how millions of Americans pushed past impossible on the road to Tokyo, new at the National World War II Museum.
Relay for life. Because there's so much to live for. Help the American Cancer Society finish the fight. Walk, join, donate now.
You guys aren't going to believe this. I've been doing this for 12 years now. We have a tie.
Oh, no.
We have a tie, 380 to 380. This has never happened before. I was just conferring with the little voice in my head who says that I should take my last 3 questions and do a sudden death. So let's do it. Hands on buzzers. We're going to see who can win this thing, okay? Here's the question. The swastika, the symbol for the Schutzstaffel, and other Nazi symbols were adapted from ancient Norse alphabet letters known as what?
Central pike.
Runes.
That is correct, which means that if you get the next question right, Central wins. Jesuit, listen up. This substance works by inhibiting enzymatic reactions involving para-aminobenzoic acid, or PABA. PABA is needed to produce folic acid. Mammals do not synthesize their own folic acid, so are unaffected by PABA inhibitors. In its powdered form, it can therefore be sprinkled on an open wound.
Central pike.
Sulfa powder.
That is incorrect for a -5. So I will now ask the whole question. This substance, I'm just going to get to the bottom. In its powdered form, it can therefore be sprinkled on an open wound to prevent infection by killing bacteria. What is the scientific name of this substance?
Cerise.
Penicillin.
That is incorrect. It is sulfanilamide. And the last question, but you guys have now lost 5 points. Describe the national flag of the United States during World War II.
Jesuit. Cerise.
Stars and stripes with 48 state stars.
That is correct for points, and that means that our winner tonight is Jesuit High School. And our runner-up is Central High School. Folks, this has been the most exciting Quiz Bowl we've ever had. I want to thank the teachers and the parents who have raised these wonderful young men. I want to thank the New Orleans Advocate for being our sponsor once again. I want to thank you for all of the National World War II Museum. It's been a great night. Watch for us again next year. Good night, everybody.